Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Small Business Best Practices webinar series presented by ExpertMetrix. In today's webinar, we are co-hosting this event with Nova Korea Research Consulting. We are going to talk about beyond employee engagement, measure what matters most to your organization and improve business results. Let's take a quick look at the agenda. We have an introduction of our host, followed by the main presentation by P1 Louis. This would be followed by a quick Q&A session, depending on the availability of time. Let's start with Nova Korea Research Consulting. Nova Korea Research Consulting is a talent management consulting firm in the Bay Area. Their services include employee engagement surveys, custom surveys, and action planning meeting facilitation. And they partner with HR leaders and executives to improve their employee engagement, business processes, and business results. Some of their clients have included Sky Chefs, Great Lakes Bioenergy Research Center, and WellPoint. Let me quickly talk about ExpertMetrix.com. ExpertMetrix is a B2B marketplace for HR, IT, and business process services. We help businesses research service providers based on their location, skills, expertise, track record, and customers. We do this because we want our customers to work with the best service providers available in the market. That's one of the reasons we allow legitimate and quality service providers in the marketplace. With that, I would like to introduce our speaker for today, P1 Louis, PhD. P1 is the founder and principal of Nova Korea Research Consulting. She's an expert in employee engagement, employee survey design, analysis, and execution. P1 has more than 15 years of experience consulting with Fortune 500 companies, as well as small to mid-sized companies. Before founding Nova Korea, she led Puwit's Global Best Employer Study and worked with associates around the world. She believes that an effective questionnaire does not need to be long, and she's passionate about bringing her right brain as well as her left brain to the table when consulting with clients. With this introduction, let me welcome P1 Louis. P1.
Thank you, Singer. It's great to be here with everybody today. And I welcome your questions during the presentation. Feel free to ask your questions. Before we begin, I'd like to talk a little bit about the logistics. If you could find the control panel on your screen, which is on top of your screen, and find the mute button, please mute your microphone during the presentation so that we don't have a lot of background noise during the whole presentation. And if you have any questions, please select the chat button and type your questions in the chat box and send it to the host. From time to time, I'll be asking questions during the presentation, and I welcome your participation. You can type in your answers in the chat box, and this time, though, please select everyone, send to everyone so that we all can see your answers. With this, let's give it a try. What would you like to learn in today's webinar? Please type in your answers in the chat box. Good. I see that you want to learn more about how to measure employee engagement. And then G, you're talking about how to engage employees. Okay. So these are the things we will be cover as well in this webinar. All right. Let's get started. Our focus today, first I want to define employee engagement. There are many definitions out there, so I want to make sure that we have a very good and clear definition so that when you design your survey and do your employee engagement survey study and follow-up action, you have a clear idea what we're talking about. Then we also want to know why it is not enough to just measure employee engagement and what you can do about it. I want to share with you how you can go beyond employee engagement to measure what matters most. And finally, how you can use the insights to improve business results. Well, no surprise there, the world of work is changing and very rapidly. We are super connected and live in an always-on culture. People check their Facebook at work, and from time to time, they also tweet and check YouTube, and you have your cell phones next to you almost 24/7. How many of you actually sleep with your cell phone and check emails first thing in the morning? Do I see some nods in the audience? Yeah? I admit I'm one of them. So what this means is that with the availability of technology, people can work anywhere, anytime. And you see an emergence of a bigger virtual workforce. And actually, some of the college students, before they join a company, they would even ask about a company's social media policy before they join the company. So it is becoming a key issue, and it's a factor that you cannot ignore if you want to manage your talent in this 24-hour super connected time. Meanwhile, the economy is still weak, and there are many critical skills that are still very hard to find. And more companies are doing more with less. What this means is employees get frustrated, they get burned out, they can be very stressed, just like this one. So many workers are very stressed. Do you want to take a guess at what percentage of the U.S. workers are stressed? Please type your answers in the chat box. 70%, 80%, 90%, my goodness. That's a lot of people who are stressed out there. However, according to a study by the American Psychological Association, 41% of the U.S. workers are stressed. Michael, you say what? The rest are in denial? Yeah, that's probably true, huh? But anyhow, the APA found that 41% of the U.S. workers are stressed. And Gallup found that 71% of employees are not engaged. So the picture does not look very good, isn't it? Even though the economy is still very volatile and the U.S. job unemployment rate is still higher than 8%, many employees are planning to leave their company. According to a global study by Blessing White, they surveyed 11,000 employees worldwide. They found out that 39% of the employees are likely to leave their company in the next 12 months. In addition, the Corporate Executive Board, again, a global study of 50,000 people worldwide, found that 1/4 or 25% of the high potentials are likely to leave the company when the economy recovers. So these are pretty drastic numbers, and they have implications for your talent management initiatives. Meanwhile, according to a PwC survey of Global CEO Survey in 2012, the top 2 concerns for CEO are skill shortages, as well as recruiting and retaining high potential middle managers. As you see, these are all talent management related issues. So, HR leaders are turning to employee engagement as a strategy to retain the talent and improve business performance. what you have seen here is you have seen some background. We have some background in terms of today's economy, the work environment, and the external factors that are at play that can affect your employee engagement. So let's take a look at what's employee engagement. Some people think that employee engagement is just like employee happiness, and some people are confusing employee engagement with employee satisfaction. They are not the same. So what's employee engagement? I'm going to share with you two definitions. One is from the Conference Board. The other one is from Gallup. According to the Conference Board, an employee is engaged if he or she is intellectually and emotionally involved with his or her job. And as a result of that, the employee would display additional efforts in their work, in helping their team, and in helping the company to succeed. Gallup has a more quantitative definition of employee engagement. They define people who are engaged as those people who answer affirmatively to the Q12 questions developed by Gallup. Does everybody know what is a Q12 questionnaire? Yes, no, a couple of no. I can share with you the list of Q12 questionnaire in our follow-up email. But some of the questions, some of the examples in the Q12s include, I know what is expected of me at work. I have a good friend at work. And in the past 7 days, I have received praise and recognition from someone at work. So this is a sample of the Q12 from Gallup. So in terms of the behavior that you see in an engaged employee, they are very involved and they're very enthusiastic about their work, and they can contribute to their organization in a positive manner. So you see there are two common elements when we talk about employee engagement. One is the intellectual involvement. The other one is the heart, right? The passion that you have in terms of your work and the people. So now you have a better understanding of the definition of employee engagement. I want to know, are your employees engaged? Can you give me a guesstimate of what percentage of your employees are engaged? Please type your answers in the chat box. 50, 60, 55, 35. Don't know? Okay, so we have a wide range from 35 to 50. Oh, I have a 70. So it looks like, you know, around 50, 55% or 60%. That's not untypical. So knowing that your employees are engaged is one thing. Are they producing the results that you want? If your employees are not engaged, they are not likely to produce positive results or the results that you want to help your company succeed. But even if they are engaged, are they engaged in doing the right thing? Are they engaged in doing the activities and the work that can produce positive results for your company? So that's the question that we want to answer. I'm going to present to you a schematic drawing of my research. It's consolidated research and from all the things that I have read and from the consulting work that I have done with various clients. So here is a schematic drawing of employee engagement, the key drivers, as well as the observable behaviors that you see when your employees are engaged. So in terms of the key drivers, we have 5 key drivers. One is the vision mission match and alignment, basically alignment of employees' values with your company's value and mission, and having meaning in the work that they do. 2 is the career advancement opportunities. People want to know that there is a chance for them to continue working here at your company, and they want to know that they can continue to grow. So having career advancement opportunities is one of the key drivers here. Now, you don't necessarily have to think about advancement opportunities as climbing the ladder, because many companies are actually getting flatter. So you may want to think about parallel moves that you can move employees into a different direction, but still providing them opportunities for growth. The third factor is relationships with the managers and coworkers. The relationship with manager is an important one, because a lot of times the manager is like a mediating factor between the employee and the organization. And you have probably heard of the phrase that people don't leave their job, they leave their manager. So it has some truth to it. And the fourth factor is employee recognition and acknowledgement. Employees want to be thanked for what they do for you. They want to be acknowledged. In fact, a recent study found that 69% of employees said that they would work harder if they got recognized more often. And finally is the learning and development opportunities. This can include learning opportunities on the job, as well as potential training opportunities for your employees to learn and grow. When your employee is engaged, or when your employees are engaged, there are 3 observable behaviors that you can see. One is in terms of retention. So they are more likely to stay with your company. So they are more likely to answer yes if you ask them, are you likely to continue working here 12 months from now or 2 years from now? And they are also very likely to advocate for your companies, for your products and services to customers as well as to their friends. And they are also more likely to recommend your company as a great place to work to their friends and family. And in addition, engaged employees are more likely to go above and beyond their job description to help the company succeed. They don't mind doing extra work for the team. They don't mind mentoring other employees, for example. So these are the observable behaviors that you can expect from an engaged employees. But we want to go one step further. From the observable behaviors here, you want to talk about how we can leverage all this into producing positive business results. So how do we do that? There are 4 steps. This is my 4-step approach. Align, enable, link, and deliver. So let's take a look at each one of them in more detail. In alignment, you want to align your survey questions with your business goals. So why is this important? Because you want to make sure that your effort is helping your employees to do the right thing to support the ultimate goals and strategy. So let's take a look at some sample questions here. Let's say your goal is to improve customer satisfaction. And a generic question that you usually see in a lot of employee survey is that, I know how to resolve client issues. So this is a pretty generic question that you see a lot in the questionnaire. So what if you get very good results on these questions? Do you know how you can replicate that for other customers serving employees? Or if you have a bad result or low score on this one, do you know what you need to do to improve it? Probably not. What if we rewrite the question and make it more specific and actionable? This is how it might look like. I have the authority to go off script if it enables me to effectively resolve client issues. So now, you know, if the score is low, you know what you can do. Maybe you can talk to the manager and encourage the employees to go off script if necessary. Sorry, I have to drink some water here. So this question is much more specific, and it allows you to take very targeted action to improve the results. Step 2 is you want to include some enabler questions. These are questions such as operations, processes, and resources. A lot of times in an employee engagement survey, you have questions related to the work environment, leadership, communications, development, but not many questionnaires include questions related to operations, processes, or resources. And you're missing a big opportunity here because these are the enablers for your business. And we want to make sure that we know what's working there and what's not working so that you can take action to address that. Let's take a look at an example. Let's take a look at a communication process. A generic question might be, communication at company ABC is transparent. Now, if you get a very good score, it's great. But if you get a low score, you don't really know what you can do about it. Being transparent, does that mean honesty, or is that easy to understand? So we can rewrite a question and make it more specific and actionable. For example, communication from senior management is timely, easy to understand, and honest. So your employees can rate each one of them, and you have more solid data to take action. The third step is you want to link your available performance matrix with your employee engagement results. Ideally, if you can look at the data at the individual level, that would be the best. But probably if you want to protect the confidentiality of the data and anonymity of the employees' responses, you can look at the data at an aggregate level, at perhaps a team level or departmental level. Some of the outcome measures or the performance metrics that you can look at are customer satisfaction, retention of high potentials, or internal mobility, meaning moving people from one department to the other, obviously your revenues, and maybe your accidents rates. So these are potential performance metrics that you can use to correlate with your employee engagement survey results. So let's take a look at a sample here. This is not my client data. These are just data for illustration only. For example, the company overall engagement score is at 68%. And we just look at 4 departments here: engineering, marketing, customer service, and research and development. If you look at the engagement score alone, you will see that R&D has the lowest score at 45%, and engineering is at 70%. The performance metrics that we are correlating with are high potential turnover rate, internal transfer rate, employee turnover. So if you look at the table here, you see that even though R&D, the engagement score is very low, only overall, there's only 2% of employee turnover, which is not bad. Now, interestingly, 10% of them got internal transfer, so that means they were able to find a job somewhere else in the company. If you look at marketing, even though the engagement score is higher at 62%, the overall employee turnover is at 15%. So that is a little bit more alarming, and maybe they don't know what internal opportunities are available to them, or maybe there's just very limited opportunities for people who are in marketing. And in addition, you have 10% high potential turnover in the marketing department. So that's even a red flag for you. So, and then for customer service, 58%, that's the engagement score. And overall employee turnover is at 50%. So what it tells me is that perhaps you can do a better job trying to retain the new hires of customer service. Maybe there's a revolving door of the people who would just join. Now, the good news is for customer service, 30% of them found some other jobs within the company, so the internal transfer rate is at 30%. That's not too bad. So if I look at this whole picture, I am actually going to focus more on working with marketing to figure out what's going on and help them reduce the employee turnover rate. Now, the research and development, I see that a lot of people found an internal transfer. That tells me that perhaps some of the managers can use some coaching to help develop the employees or promote a better relationship with the employees. So now you can see with this kind of data, you have a much richer data set, and you can tell more story, and you can take more specific action to improve the results. Now finally, the next step is you want to deliver insights. You want to help your managers see where and how they can take action. Don't just give them the entire survey report. They will be overwhelmed by the data, and they don't have time to pour through the data. So help them take action. What you can do is to deliver the survey results in headline format. For example, here, all these questions are related to collaboration and communication, and we have a divisional data, and over here you see the different regions. So for Southwest, you see that there are a lot of reds, and for the West you have a few greens. The red means they're significantly lower than the divisional total. The greens means that they are significantly higher or better than the division total. So the conversation that you're going to have with the head of the Southwest region is going to be very different from the conversation that you're going to have with the Western region leader. So summarizing your results in a very easy to understand manner, pulling out the information from your data, distill them into headline formats so that your managers can see at a glance what they can do, what they need to do, and then you're more likely to get buy-in from them. And also they're more likely to involve their employees to take follow-up action. So to summarize, you can go beyond employee engagement by doing 4 steps, 4 things: align, enable, link, and deliver. So what this means is that you want to align your survey questions with your business strategy. You want to include enabler questions, such as questions related to processes, operations, and resources. Make them specific and relevant to your business. And you want to link survey results to available performance metrics. And finally, you want to deliver insights to your managers and enable them to take follow-up actions. Do we still have time for a case study, Singer?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, great. I will share with you a case study of my client. This is Great Lakes Bioenergy Research Center. They are a research center funded by the Department of Energy and located in University of Wisconsin. That's where they are located, but they have multiple locations as well. Some of the challenges here is they have a very diverse group of people, the professors, researchers, doctorate students, postdocs, as well as the admin people, the staff members, and who support the functions of the center. To make things more complicated, not all the people who are affiliated with the center work full-time, because the researchers and professors, they also have affiliation with different universities, and some of them only work about 20% to 30% of the time at the center. So communication becomes a pretty interesting challenge. So we work with them to design an employee survey that is very focused. They want to make sure that they listen from their members, their people, and they want to establish a baseline so that they can continue to work on the research, so that they can plan for their research for the next 5 years. And in this survey, we only focus on 4 key areas because we didn't want to make it too long. And these are the 4 key areas that will enable them to reach the goal. The 4 areas are communications, leadership, resources, and diversity. So we collected the information and analyzed the results. So I have presented the results to the client, and they have now fed back the survey results to their different labs. One of the more interesting findings is in terms of collaboration, how they collaborate, how people collaborate with each other to do their research. They have an internal communication platform and also a knowledge sharing platform called a hub. It has not been widely used, and from the survey we know, from the survey feedback, we now know why people are not using it as much as they would like people to do. So that provided some key data points and insights to help them take actions to improve that platform. And right now, the Bioenergy Research Center has already assembled a team of people to take some of the feedback from the survey and make ongoing improvement in terms of the communication process as well as some of the resources process. And we will reevaluate the progress next year. So this is just a quick short story of a client that I have worked with. Well, the world of work is changing, and we can't stop it. But now, hopefully, you know what you need to do to measure what matters most and help you improve employee engagement and business results. Singer?
Thanks, Piven. Thank you, Piven, for this wonderful presentation. I have learned a few things about employee engagement, how we can make employee engagement as one of our priorities in our company. Thank you so much for the wonderful presentation. For the participants, you will receive a copy of the presentation and the recording in email. If you would like to improve employee engagement or you would like to engage with P1, you can reach her at the email address p1.louis@novacareerresearch.com. If you would like to learn more about ExpertMetrix, you can find us on the web, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. I thank all the participants for taking the time to join the webinar and being interactive with the speaker. Thanks again, and thank you, P1.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you, everybody.